I am so excited to share this large Tatreez project that I've been working on for over 6 months. I'm excited to show you, but also to frame it, so let's get started. I am so excited because it has been like over 6 months of doing this, and I have finally finished my Tatreez piece. If you're like, how the heck did it take you 6 months to do such a small piece? How dare you, first off. Second off, it's because it takes half an hour for me for each square, and I can't just spend the whole day doing it, you know? Like, I have a life, I have other things to do. This is what it is looking like. I am so proud. I do know that right here, the lines don't match up because I put this waist canvas on incorrectly. It's kind of slanted a little, and I tried to fix it, but I don't think I did. So I'm gonna try, when I frame it, to fix it a little, like to stretch this side up, this side down as needed. First things first, I have to remove all of this waist canvas. Bane of my existence is removing waist canvas. I actually despise it. To remove waist canvas, I've got whatever this thing is. It's just scissors, seam ripper, and some tweezers. And I'm just gonna start by removing this. Ideally, I wanna say I will reuse it, but unfortunately, I mismeasured. Oh, there's a pin in here. Oh, I didn't finish. Let's finish together. So to finish, what I mean is to just weave the end of the thread through some of the back loops to secure it, similar to how you would knot in sewing. How dare you ruin the moment? There we go. Okay. I've also got, this is the stitch to hold the this was what I used to hold it down. Still didn't quite explain it, but I meant the base stitch to hold the waist canvas down. It's not really usable anymore, so I'm just gonna, oh my gosh, she's stuck. Okay, I think you're starting to get the idea as to why I hate removing waist canvas. We're about 2.5-ish minutes into the video, and I still have not yet actually started to cut the waist canvas. But finally, we are now gonna work on it. Let's start off with the waist canvas. So cutting the waist canvas scares me so much because I always end up cutting either this or the threads. So yeah, that was a very stressful moment, but I followed it up with some ASMR. See, if I was doing it properly and going row by row, it would free a little bit nicely, but I don't care enough. When removing waist canvas, I say my prayers for my hands because I've got carpal tunnel, and also this takes forever. This is going to take me a whole day. I already know. But what I will do is I will cut right here. And then I will go in. There's like the little square, and I'll cut a stitch in the top, in the left, in the bottom, and in the right, just to give me a head start on removing the waist canvas. So I'm going to go do that. I also have to be very careful not to grab the fabric, which I do a lot. It is pretty difficult. It's really difficult to be able to explain this, but basically what I'm doing is just kind of isolating each little square's waist canvas. That way I can use the tweezers to pull out the little threads. Come on. Also, if you have any suggestions on a better way on how to remove this waist canvas, please let me know because I am not putting down the needle anytime soon. Okay, now I've got those started. I'm gonna grab my tweezers. I'm gonna stick it in to there and then grab the little end and try to pull it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it rips, which is why you do the little starting stitches to just give it a head start.
Also, I usually cut all of the corners before moving on to this step, but I wanted to just demonstrate for the video.
Are we just not gonna today, now that there's a camera? There we go. The other thing is, those were corners. So this one has an end here that isn't attached to another waist canvas, and so does this one. So these two were easy to remove. However, for this one, I have to do the next square. So I'm gonna go ahead, cut that one, and then also the same for the right side. Okay, come on. So now these guys should come out. It's still a struggle, but now I've unlocked the feature.
Like I said, this takes me about a day, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you a few fun clips and then do it all on my own because we're not gonna be sitting here through a day-long video.
Come on. Perfect. Now that I've got those pieces removed, I'm gonna go in with this, and then I'm gonna cut all of the loops from where we removed it. That way I can start to work on these individual squares.
This part is so satisfying. It's my favorite and it has such a good ASMR, so enjoy.
I have to be careful because sometimes the thread is actually not correctly placed and is in the column like it is right here. It is like overlapped, it shouldn't be there. So to be sure to not cut that, I also have to make sure not to grab the fabric underneath, which I do a lot. Okay. So as I do that, some of these will just start to come out, which is great. But I usually do all of them first, or else I will forget and then try to struggle with one for like 20 minutes. I also find rotating helps a lot. Okay, now with all of those pieces removed, I'm gonna just go in with my tweezers and start to work on getting the rest out. I usually start with the row with the least amount of spots. So you can see there's like a row full of stitches, and then the row after it doesn't have any except the two here. So those are usually the ones I start with, just because you can kind of just pull and they'll come out. There's less tension. Two. I usually do this while watching a movie, or else I get so angry and frustrated. I need a distraction. Similar to how I did it here, I will start here and I will just keep alternating till I make my way all the way around.
Okay, this part is more satisfying to the person who's doing the work than to the people watching, so I'm gonna skip through it. But basically, like I said, I'm gonna alternate and work through all of these squares. It takes me about 10-ish minutes per square, so that is why it takes me all day.
Ta-da! One square down, it only took 20 minutes. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do this for the rest of these. There's a lot of them, so give me like a day or two and I'll be back for actually framing it. Look at how much there is. Oh my gosh. This took so much time, but I have finally made it to the last square, and I was like, let's try to do this together, you know, just for memory's sake. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Oh my gosh, this is a mess. Okay, there it is.
Okay, watching this back, I am kind of like getting low-key frustrated with the way I'm doing it, but I'm telling you, after doing all of those squares, you just have to attack it and just get it done, because my hands were so shaky and I was so tired. My muscles hurt, my arms hurt. Everything about this is not fun.
It doesn't want to cooperate. That's fine. Why? Last strand. Ta-da! She's done. All right. Just clean these off. Okay. This is what it is looking like. It is finally done. And you know what's crazy is I don't really see where the waste canvas was messed up. I actually blended in. I was kind of worried I would. Actually, wait, let me look for it. Maybe I'm saying that without looking properly. Wasn't it here?
Can you see it? Because I can, but it's not that bad.
Where was it? I actually can't find it. It'll be obvious. I know I'll notice it as soon as I see it, but it actually looks so good. Okay, time to frame. So to frame this, I just got like a stretch canvas frame. I know that's like not ideal, but I did also like pre-poke the holes, but I didn't label them. So we're gonna figure this out. I also don't have a hammer. Fun. Hopefully. Oh my gosh, this is so loud.
Yeah, this was an interesting framing choice, but in my head I wanted it to be frameless, and I thought that this was the best way to achieve that. When doing my research on picking how I wanted to frame this, I saw people using this for paintings, which were not the exact size of the square, which is why this will not work. You'll see soon. However, if I did want this for Tatreez, I should have attached the fabric and done the Tatreez on the frame.
There ain't no way. Not with my weak hands. Not after the waste canvas. Okay, it moves. Ow.
This was probably the point that I should have just tossed it out and not wasted my time with it.
I quit. I don't think it's gonna get tighter without a hammer. So I've got the frame and it comes with these pins. So now I'm just gonna pin the piece. My goal was to try to get this to fit the frame exactly, but I realized the pattern just doesn't work as well. So my goal is to now just get it as evenly spaced on the frame as possible. And now I'm realizing I could have probably done another row on each. Too late now. Am I missing a row? Have I undone all this work?
So what you're going to witness now is me as I struggle to realize that the waist canvas is not perfectly square.
I think I'm going to start by pinning one edge.
This was actually so difficult to do, stretching the fabric and making sure a square is equal on each side of another square.
Sure.
Yeah, I just kept having to redo the work.
Evenly spaced. Okay. Actually, I can't pin it until I've got it centered. This is, yeah, I'm missing a row, aren't I? This is not a square. Unless the frame isn't a square. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Why is this not a square? Well, there's this big of a gap this way, but not this way.
Yay! I can count! But that means absolutely nothing here because there are the right amount of squares, but they are not the same size on each side.
I could also ditch the frame. I think I'm just gonna do temporary pins to hold it in place and then move things around.
Let me just say that a requirement that should come with these frames is a hammer, because after removing the waste canvas, then building the frame, and then doing this, my hands hurt so bad.
Already off to a bad start.
And unfortunately, it just gets worse from here.
How do people do this? I already know that's not good, but it's a start. I can see where it is now. Look at that gap. Oh. Okay. Also, you can see it's not straight.
Also, if you've done this before, you can already see my mistake, which is that I started putting the pins on the outside of the frame instead of the inside. I know this was me preliminary trying to get everything measured up and then flip it inside out, but I should have just started with the inside.
Oh no. Maybe we ditch the frame. Ow. Okay. So that's a problem. Yeah. And oh wait, that's also, what the heck? I don't have any more finger strength to get these out. I watched videos, you guys, and I still don't know how they did it. Also, I have to put the pins on the inside. It's getting somewhere.
So I kept going and trying to make this work, even though I had already established that I didn't like it and I didn't really want to do it.
Don't know how to get it into a straight line, and I don't think it's possible just because it's tugging at the fabrics. Honestly, it looks so weird. I feel like it would have looked better if I had just done an extra row and it'd be a rectangle. Should I have tried to flip the pattern? Let me get measuring tape. Like, the frame is 12 by 12 and the picture is 10 3/4 by 11 1/4, which doesn't make sense. How's it 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 11. 11. They should be the same size. So I don't understand how that worked.
Oh, sweetie, that pattern is 7 by 7 stitches, but the waist canvas adds half a stitch to each in the long way.
They should be the same size.
See, if you had measured the waist canvas stitches...
Is this from the stretching of the canvas?
Oh, no, sweetie, it is definitely not.
Did I just stretch the other way better? Let me try stretching the canvas this way.
Why am I yelling at myself as if it is not me that is literally doing this? But hey, it's a learning mistake, and I did try to restretch it and play around with it for like another hour, and this is what it is looking like.
Cool. I literally just cut this off. I should have tested it on the frame, but I literally measured. I might just put it in a frame and not put it in this. Maybe I frame it for reals. In a frame.
But my delusional, stubborn self continued to try to work it for another half an hour before I gave up.
I'm gonna get a normal frame. Let's put it. There's a lot of art in here. I've only got this really tiny frame, which cancels out a lot of my artwork. I'm gonna try this, but it's a lot smaller, so obviously I'm gonna have to get a bigger one. Trip to IKEA is probably what I need.
But do I really deserve it after this?
But let's see if this is even the way to go. That actually would be cool. Do that. I'm gonna step on one of those. Like 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm gonna have to buy a 12-inch frame, but for now, I just want to see what it looks like. So let me try lining it up.
I was trying to line up the edges of the frame with the square edges. That way it wasn't like half on each side and it kind of looked a little wonky and like it was half done.
It's gonna be hard. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this definitely was not a frame meant for fabric pieces.
I ripped it. No. Pins ripped the Tatreez. That's annoying. That's just rude.
Not only was the frame ripping the piece, but it was really difficult to stretch it around that plastic piece.
Clearly it hasn't been watching my videos to see how much effort this freaking takes. Oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. Definitely need to stretch and maneuver it a bit. Can I? Please?
So I stretched and stretched, and actually it eventually worked. But again, I'm missing a lot of my piece in this frame, so I'm gonna have to look out for another one, and one that is actually meant for this.
Pin here.
After it ripped my piece, I was very vigilant about those pins.
Oh my gosh, it looks so good. I'm obsessed. This was so good. Oh. Okay, definitely needs some more stretching. Yeah, I don't think the back of the frame will fit, but that looks so good. Look at that. That is so pretty. I'm so proud. This is like so good. Okay, let me put, oh, it does fit. Does it? Does it? It does. Yes.
Okay, I keep repeating how proud I am and how relieved I am it worked, because I was contemplating if this was a waste of my 6 months because of that frameless frame not working.
I am so proud. Okay, definitely needs one of these. Oh my god, there's a freaking waste canvas. Let me get this evil. Where is it? Here.
The waist canvas really needed to be the last punch, and honestly, how dare it? But let me just say, I am not going to let that little waist canvas piece ruin this moment, because this was amazing.
Yes, I am so happy I was able to embark on this journey of just learning Tatreez. This has been so enlightening, very long, but honestly, it's just opened up such a beautiful door to more opportunities and more Tatreez. I'm off to start my next project.
Palestinian embroidery is such a beautiful technique with a rich history, and I highly recommend it if you enjoy embroidery.